been promoting, what is it called? Black Queer Travel website, I think. Oh, I missed it. If we can't hear you, girl. Who is she do? Oh, the cat's out the bag already?
I know the answer to 2 of my questions right now.
I'm about to play that back. She must be in her underwear. Oh, there she is.
Whoops.
Well, t-shirt with some panties on. That's the bottom tip of the day.
Hey, community. Here's what's brewing today.
The commitment for dick.
Ask your aunties, stop sending me porn. And Curiosity, Black Card Revoked. So get your cups ready for Minoritea Report.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Minoritea Report.
Hey, what up, y'all?
Hey.
I got 2 beers over here and I keep drinking. Ooh. I don't know which one I'm drinking from.
Oh, she extra thirsty.
2 beers.
2 beers. Hey, oh, is that a PBR?
No, it's the Rainier. I'm feeling extra butch today. Rainier.
Okay, Butch Queen. Come on now. And before we get too far, guess what it is? It's Pisces season, bitch. My birthday's this Sunday. So, yes. Community, what's up? Pisces season in this bitch.
Places, everybody.
Places, everybody. Places, everybody. I know, it's so sad though. Like I'll give my government age, I don't care. I turned 37 on 3/7. And last year, I was like, oh, that'll be cute. Have a nice little brunch on Sunday. And this is like before COVID happened. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, yeah. Nope. I'm probably going to be at the crib. I was hoping to have a vaccine, both of them by now.
Well, you could do something social distance, though.
Yeah, I guess. But it's just like not what you envision in your head, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, Rona, damn.
Based on how things are going now, when do you think would be the time that you individually would feel comfortable like planning a trip or doing something? Like what time of year?
Whenever I get mine is literally solely based on the vaccine shots, like of how grandiose I want to get. Like a trip, like Corey came home the other day and he was like, let's go to PV again. Mm-hmm. And I was like, girl, we're so close. Like my fear is to be like made it this far and being this diligent, then they like get it at the last second.
It's
you
like
know?
That girl who fell at right before the finish line. Like.
Right, exactly. So it's just like I made it a damn near year. Mm-hmm. And to be like reckless at the end just because like I'm literally itching and clawing. So I'm trying to hold on. But literally, the second I get them 2 shots and maybe a week after. So like the body kind of get used to it and you know you build up the antibodies. Okay, then 2 weeks.
It takes 14 days for your body to masticize and leverage the vaccine so that you can build up so that you can build up a resistance. It takes 2 weeks.
We haven't had a Dawon word of the day in a while.
I know, right? I'm over here still trying to pronounce it in my head. I'm like, what? Mastodon? Huh? What? Like
But yeah, no, literally them 14 days, I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere, even if I gotta work from that somewhere.
So as soon as the shots become available for your age group, you're taking it.
Absolutely. And it's not, and mine is not even have to be my age groups because since I have asthma, I asked my doctor. I was like, that's been my biggest fear because I was like, okay, it already messes up your lungs, you know. Right. And so it's just like, I have asthma. I've been doing my due diligence. Am I going to be able to get this before my quote unquote age group? And he's like, I think so. He's like, I will even write you a doctor's note. He's like, whenever you get an appointment, he's like, once it gets to the like in Georgia's like 1B, so it's after like the 65 and older and the healthcare workers, it gets to like the folks with pre conditions and things like that.
That's gonna be like April, May.
I know. And he was like, if you go to a CVS or a Walgreens or wherever you could get it, and they're saying you need a doctor's note to prove, he's like, shoot me an email and I will send it right away. And I was like, okay, we on the same page in Playboy. And then plus for Corey having diabetes, I'm gonna be like, bitch, hop on. I'm scheduling your appointment and my appointment. We're gonna be 9:15 to 9:30. So, but yeah, no, I'm ready. I'm ready to get it.
Yeah.
And get out of town.
I'm on the same page. Luckily for me, like I'm not an outdoorsy person, so I've been trying to do more outdoorsy stuff, which falls in line with more of like the COVID, guidelines and social distancing and stuff like that. So, I might be a man in the woods, no Justin Timberlake because he was a trash man in the woods, But I'll be out there. Yeah, man. I did, however, just found out though that this whole time, okay, I need to get this off my spirit.
Oh Lord.
So I work remote full time. So Auntie Henny can technically work from wherever she wants to and be Gucci. Well, I haven't been able to go wherever I want to because Bay can't work wherever he wants to. At least that's what I thought it was the case. Found out all I have to do is buy this fool a Mac computer and he can do his work stuff because his work computer is like one of those Mac desktops, one of those huge ass
the iMacs.
That like you don't fit in a suitcase. It's too big to go, on the overhead, compartment. So. And he ain't checking that bitch. Right. And he ain't checking it because it's too expensive and it's work. So if they damage it, then that's his ass.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, wait, so you saying all I have to do is buy you a Mac laptop and we can go wherever we want to?
That part. Save them coins up, girl.
I was like, I'm mad because that could have been your birthday gift there. There would have been no winery. There would have been no San Francisco. There would have been no AirPods. Look,
right.
I would have saved up for the last 12 months if that was the case and been Gucci in Hawaii, like.
And quite frankly, like, you're like the regular MacBooks are relatively the same cost as an iPhone.
They are. Yeah,
like
the base models,
the base models they're the same cost as an iPhone. And if you get a refurbished one, because if it's not something that like he needs, like something that's like a refurbished one you can get for less expensive. Right. So
that's what I did. That's what we're recording on right now. Is I got a refurbished Mac in 2017. It's a 2016. Got it in 2017. And you save a good maybe. I mean, it's still expensive as shit. Don't get me wrong, because I got the souped up version, but I might have saved maybe $500. Yeah. And that's a chunk of change.
And my bestie just told me she knows somebody that works for Apple in the refurbished department, so we can get an additional like $500 to $600 saved up on it. So I was like, oh, come through connection.
Yeah.
So Auntie Henny may be coming from you live somewhere all summer. Like,
let me know, girl. I'm hopping on that plane with you.
Just saying. I'm looking. I can do that.
Honolulu. But Kilikimake is the wise way. Merry Christmas to you. Hell yeah. I know Corey wanted to. Same boat for me. Corey works in person. And me, this last year, you're looking at it. This has been my office, so I could have done this anywhere. If he could have, and knowing Corey, he would have been like, fuck a job. Like, let's go tomorrow. But like, if he had more freedom, I would have got stranded in Hawaii. I would have quarantined for those 2 weeks to be on the islands. And I mean, yes, the time difference kind of sucks. Like, you would have to wake up like 5 hours earlier. So be it. You're in freaking Hawaii.
I suck it up. Oh, I'm working at 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. Cool. Say less.
And then you have the whole day to do whatever you want.
The whole day. Okay.
The whole day.
You right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sign me the fuck up.
I have just such strong cabin fever right now. Like, I so badly want to get out of the house. Normally we typically do like a beach vacation in between like January and February. And obviously this year we didn't. So I'm just like what is it?
Seasonal affective disorder? No, it's what is
there's a D in there.
Sad. Yeah, I'm sad.
Yeah.
I'm sad. Seasonal affectiveness disorder. That's what it is. Yeah. We got there.
Thanks, Alexa. Thanks.
But like, it's just, I'm so like just exhausted of just being cooped up in the house. And, you know, unlike you guys who have, you know, vehicles and you can drive around whenever you want and whatnot, like she in New York, she in her house, everything gets ordered to the house. So she's basically not leaving at all. And after a year of this, it's like, oh,
but like, I don't almost know what's worse, because like this week it finally got warm again here in Atlanta. It's been in the 70s, and like today, like I met some old co-workers for a quick lunch. Like? I know, right? It was awesome. And they're like, do you want to meet for lunch? I was like, is it outside? They're like, yes. I was like, and then even then I was like, oh, let me think. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And luckily it was like on a wide porch, nobody's by us and all that stuff. But today it was the first time I've been out, because like even when it is nice out, you're like, where the fuck am I gonna go? Right. What am I gonna do? And so it's like I almost rather it be snowing, because then I don't feel the pressure to try to do something.
That's what it's been like here. Like it's been snowing, it's been cold, and you know, I'm not one for loving all the snow and whatnot. Looks cute while it's happening, but when you got to trudge through it and you know, like, and go to work or whatever, you know, that becomes a different thing. But this year it hasn't been a thing, because all you're doing is you're in a snow globe. That's a good analogy. You're in a snow globe. So everything that's happening outside the world is like, oh, that's pretty. But here I am looking at this camera all damn day in this position, because when I'm working, I have on average 9 Zoom meetings a day.
Wow.
On average. Sometimes it's more. And so I'm sitting, this is what I'm doing all damn day. Yeah. No break.
Yeah. No, this room.
I want to go somewhere. I want to, like, you know, I know we talked about the vaccine a couple of episodes ago, and I said, no, you know, I really want to wait until but I'm just like, I want to travel so badly that I will take whatever I can get that allows me and Adam and, you know, like whoever else to be able to go somewhere. And I just want to go somewhere for like a whole week, 10 days.
Absolutely.
A whole week, 10 days. I want to take that time off. I haven't taken any time off. I want to take that entire time off. I don't want to think about work. I don't want to talk about work. I don't want to look at nobody that has to do anything with work. Like, I just want to sit on a beach with some cervezas and some salt water.
I know that's right.
It was funny at our company. They said that if you carried over, so like they allow us to carry over like 40 hours from last year, but then they allowed us to carry an additional 40 hours because of the pandemic. And they were like, those additional 40 hours, however, that you carried over, you got to use those by Q1.
Yeah.
Oh, word. Yeah, that's good. Like we moved to unlimited vacays this year, whatever the hell that means. It means you still feel guilty as hell trying to take some time off.
That was the worst for me. I felt yes, exactly. I felt really guilty because 3 years ago we had unlimited, and I was like, oh, say less, and I was like,
it's like, oh, am I taking advantage of that? Is that the perception? Right. And so I'm like, I just rather know what I had. But here it is March. Haven't taken a day. Like, what am I going to do? Like, it's just messed up.
Remember how the end of the year we were talking about doing like renting a house in like PV and having you guys come down and like, you know, like it could just be the 6 of us or whatever in a house or whatever, and that was the kibosh. And
it's just a mess. So it's like, and I try not to complain too bad, because there's so many people that have it worse off than I do. I know, especially like here we are like recording on Wi-Fi and things like that, you know, and I just know there's certain families that are like struggling to even have internet for the kids to go to school. But it's just getting to that point where like, golly.
The good news is we're at the end of February. Well, when this episode airs, it'll be the 1st of March. So that just puts us 1 month more close to weather where you can actually do stuff outside and not freeze your whole fingers and toes off. For those of us that are in the north.
It's true. And once we finally get out, the world will be a little more gay too, because the Gallup poll, did you see that come out? Saying that society is changing. A record 5.6% of US adults identify as LGBTQ, the poll shows, and young people are driving the numbers up. And let me see here, what are the young numbers? The young numbers, it says one of the biggest headlines in 2020 poll emerges as Generation Z, those between 18 and 23, 1 in 6, or 15.9% identify as LGBTQ. Almost 16%. That's wild. That's awesome. That it's just telling me that it's probably always been that high, if not higher, but generationally couldn't come out or like be their full selves. So to me, I'm just like, it's been out there. Like, we know people that have been on the download. Right. We know people that have been sneaking around and shit like that. And I was one of them at one point myself, you know? So it's great to see that. And hopefully by Pride season, we'll have maybe a little more opportunities. I might still be wearing my mask here and there because I don't know, everybody got the cooties, but but it's just dope to see that even when these pollsters are asking you, especially in Gen Z, that 16% of them even spoke up, you know, because in years past when polls would ask you that, you were still kind of like, oh, I don't know where this data is going. I don't know who you are. Are you gonna be able to tell somebody, like, you know?
Right.
So hey, I'm here.
Where's the closet? That needs to be on a T-shirt somewhere because it don't exist anymore.
Closet where? Nowhere.
Right. Interesting enough, I had a conversation with my mom. It wasn't planned, but you know, just how these things happen. And you know, like we were talking about, you know, we started out talking about how I was trying to remember like my earliest memories. I was sitting in bed and just trying to think about like, what's the earliest memory do I ever have or whatever. And then when I was sharing them with my mom, I was, you know, that kind of led me to thinking about all the things that my mom and my parents, you know, my mom and my dad, you know, did, you know, that I just really appreciate now looking back. And then we started talking about like my coming out and, you know, and me dealing as a young little in the closet gay boy who, you know, was, you know, on the effeminate side, very sensitive, you know, very much into like, you know, like just the arts, you know, that kind of stuff. Wasn't really into sports or whatever. You can call it stereotyping or whatever. And, you know, it was interesting because she said something that I never knew. She said, you know, she basically said that, you know, had I come out earlier, that she would have supported me 100%. She said that I always knew that you were gay. I never had a problem with you being gay. She said, and I didn't know this. I never had a problem with you being gay. When I came out, I knew she didn't have a problem with it then, but I'm just saying, like, when I was like 11, you know, or 7, not knowing, and the only message that you're hearing about gayness are negative, and you're hearing about people who get kicked out of their houses for being gay, and, you know, and using like, you know, the F word, you know, was rampant, and, you know, whatever, you don't know. And so it was just wild because she said the only thing that she was concerned about was really, she said, I don't care that you're gay and I would have defended you to the end of the earth. I just don't want you to be hurt. Yeah. And it's like, and it's weird because my mom's not like super nurturing. Like my mom is an activator. She's an executor. She's a delegator. Like she's like the one that invests in us and other people. My dad, coincidentally, is the nurturer, the emotional one, etc. You know, but I never knew that, you know, and I was like, damn, you know, like when we finished the conversation, it just got me thinking about how much time I wasted in fear just because I didn't have the courage to be able to say to my mom, this is how I'm feeling, or, you know, I'm different, you know,
and that she knew the whole time too, you know, is that she might not even have the words to ask you directly or want to, like, you know, like, because you don't want to put your kid in a position that he's going to feel emotionally and hurt by you asking it, even, you know. That's
And she
deep.
I remember, yeah, I remember when I was 16 and I was a freshman in high school, when I was 15, excuse me, I was a freshman in high school. And I remember I was just like, I wasn't really hanging out with anybody. I was just kind of like being by myself for a long period of time. Had extracurriculars. I was in, I took piano lessons. Um, I had tennis lessons a couple times a week, and then I had drawing class on Saturdays at a college. So I was active, but these were all like individual things. And when I wasn't doing those things, I was just by myself. Meanwhile, my brother and my sister were all hanging out with their friends and da 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 da. And I wasn't. And I remember she tried to have a conversation about me being gay, and I was so frightened,
Right.
to admit it. Like I hadn't even admitted it to myself. I hadn't even looked at myself in the mirror and said the words out loud, let alone, had the courage to tell her. And, she even said, she's like, I remember trying to have this conversation. You were not trying to have that conversation with me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn, I could have been one of those kids that like could have been out in high school and feel supported because I have support at home. But I carried that weight until I was 22. Yeah, until I was 22 unnecessarily.
That's interesting. Like, because there was actually going to be almost like a similar story to tell you guys today. Like, so again, like I've been in this kind of weird mode of cleaning out just random boxes that I've literally been lugging forever, pretty much since college, some of them. And I found an old camcorder. And so I was like, oh God, I don't even remember what's on these tapes or anything that, like, there was a couple moments where I was like, I know it, certain moments, like I recall, I was like, okay, I know I took it down to spring break one year. I know we did this in college, but other than that, couldn't recall. And so like I found the cables and everything, ordered the cables, all this hoopla to be able to convert it digitally to my computer. So I started doing that the other night. And it's literally almost 20 years old, some of this stuff on the tapes. Is Kerel literally his senior year in high school is when it starts. And then it goes all the way through like the end of my freshman year in college. And to see yourself hours of tape at that age and certain shit that you forgot and certain things you were saying and acting and that you could pinpoint because you know yourself of how you were hiding at that moment. Like, it was interesting, honestly. And I was just like, I don't know how many people actually have done this, literally taking time, if they have the footage of looking at yourself at that age, especially teenage years as it is fucked up. But to know that you were gay and being around friends. But the one thing I took out of it was just like, okay, Kerel, you're pretty much the same. Yes, I've grown, but like at least I could tell foundationally that I was empathetic towards people then. I'm empathetic now, so I'm like, okay, that's good. The stuff that I want to stay has stayed, thank God.
Yeah.
But also the things that I want to grow and being out, I'm like, God, it was cool to see how far you've come. Because like the spring break, like it was just interesting, like me, like with like my friends, my straight friends, which a bunch of them I'm still like, you met a couple of them at my wedding, like Breen and Opoka and them, they're all on this video.
Hey guys.
And and hey, Moore's probably the one listening, so she'll probably tell Jo. But to see them, it was cool because it was a time warp and just shit that you're doing. I was like, damn, we were kind of reckless drinking and shit. But to also see that they cared for me then and they care for me now as well. And kind of similar to you, it's just like, I probably could have come out then. And they would have been like, well, you're my friend, let's just go drink some beers. But just to see myself trying to act like them in a way in some of these scenes and be like, oh, look at those girls, knowing full well I give a damn about them girls. I did not give a damn. So literally having my camcorder like zooming in, like, oh, you see those girls over there? It's zooming in for them, putting this act on. Right. And it was just interesting to see, like, certain parts of it made me so uncomfortable because like I'm so now more comfortable in my skin and what I have to offer. And it's just like, I almost wish everyone had a moment where literally you could see hours of yourself at that age, because there's just shit you forget that you're like, damn, that did happen. Oh yeah, because like I filmed like my whole last day of senior day in school, and like I had started to grow up my hair then, and then just like the clothing was completely different and shit too. But it was like I was sitting there and Corey was just like laughing at me because I was laughing at stuff. I was like almost like teared up at other stuff because there's almost an innocence as well at that point too, you know. So
I was shocked at going back to like the Gallup poll. I think the thing that's interesting is that children today have so many positive examples of queerness in whatever spectrum that it exists. And we have, like our society has not fully, but has to a large degree embraced the ability that you can be your full self, and live a full life. And so what was interesting for me, kind of reflecting back on the conversation with my mom is I started thinking about how fundamentally who I was as a person was influenced by the shame, the fear, the lack of courage, the lack of guts to be able to, say this is who I am. And, I started wondering like, wow, that all of that played into like all the insecurities that I have as as an adult, as I'm dating, as I was dating, and like entering into relationships and like my idea of what that can look like and how fully I could bring myself to those. And it's like, it's now that I'm, it's like, I would probably say my mid to late 30s, I really started to embrace who I was as a person, and now that I'm in my 40s, it's like, what you see is what you get. Right. What you see is what you get. But it's like, damn, I think about that and it's like, I need Iyanla to help me fix, unpack my life, like.
Seriously. But that's awesome that you had that conversation though.
Yeah, I will say it's like, I'm not as young as a lot of the kids are coming out today. I'm like, some of these kids are coming out like 9-10 years old. And I also find that just really amazing that at a young age, they can have that self identity. They can find themselves at such a young age, or at least be able to identify of who they want to be, But like I came out like halfway in between my senior year. Like I went to winter break and I came out and I was like, gay.
Bitch, I'm here.
I literally came back.
Now
like,
what?
Gay. So like 2006 did it to me, it was winter break, but I will say like coming out earlier doesn't really change the journey though, because there's still so much that you have to come to terms with when it comes to dealing with, people who are homophobic, and if you're a person of color, still juggling racism, and if you are someone who doesn't follow the social norms, juggling that too, finding your own crew and your own crowd, so like, although I find it amazing that these kids are coming out younger, I also find myself wondering, like, how are they dealing with this at such a young age? Because of the fact that there's still so much just as youth, whether you're queer or not, that you still just don't know. You don't learn until you become an adult. And I think about like how, when I came out, and just being 18, 19 years at the gay bars, just knowing that so many of the same people were going through the same, like so many people were drinking at the bars because they were battling their own demons and going through their own journey. And that was the way to cope, and then social media wasn't as big as it is now. I could only imagine having that to deal with while you're coming out too. So
that is true, because I noticed that there was like no phones while I was watching. I was like, God, nobody's on their phone. I was like, this is weird. Like I had my neck, like I saw my neck tail on my hip.
Your Tamagotchi. Your Tamagotchi.
Yeah, I can't.
But like nobody was like on their iPhones or anything. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot that like you were more engaged in a moment of what debauchery might be happening. But I was like, that is so bizarre. But no, that is true. Like you might not have the mental maturity and the emotional maturity to still handle you being out, even if you come out earlier. And even maybe society might be a little better. I don't know.
But even society still is so much more like, especially we've seen how the last 4 years gone. People, them keyboard bullies are out there, you know. So I could imagine me coming out and then having to deal, because you know, like in person, some people just they choose not to say nothing, you know. So I'm sure there are people in high school when I came out that had an issue with it, but they didn't say nothing because you know, I'll be ready to throw hands too. But I can only imagine if back then we had like a Twitter or something like that where we could post all the time. And I bet you people would be speaking up then. And then here we go, I'll be having issues in school. So I think it's kind of double-edged, you know, like there's a positive, but at the same time, I think the other end of it is just as bad.
Because, like, I mean, we all say that we've known since the beginning of time that you're gay. So it's just like to have an environment that you feel comfortable enough to come out is so critically important, but just amazing that it seems to potentially be a little better. Doesn't negate that there's going to still be social media bullies and fears and the same bullshit, unfortunately. But it's just cool that we're at least hearing and maybe seeing more examples of families being nurturing, and maybe not even having that initial fear because of maybe what the media is putting out there and what you're hearing your friends. Because like that's awesome to hear that your mom was like, "Girl, I knew," you know, kind of thing. And it's just like that she was just wishing that you would have the chance to talk to her about it. But you know, it's interesting. I think you said like she tried, but it's just like you weren't trying to tell nobody. It wasn't about her. It had nothing to do with her. It was just like you were still dealing with yourself, you know, and that's what I remember through.
I distinctly remember because it was the summer I was 17 years old. It was after I graduated high school. It was before I started freshman year at college. And I remember I'm making up in my mind. It's like, okay, I just got to get through high school. I had a girlfriend at the time.
With short hair? With short hair?
T-Boss.
No, that was my ideal, not the reality. But
and that's a throwback warning for the new community members.
That's a whole other situation. But I remember I was like, I'm so excited. I was like, I'm going to be going away from school. I'm going to be living on campus. I can live a whole other life. You know, it was like my vision of like, MTV's The Real World. You know, I can go away to college and then live that real life and then, you know, whatever. And I remember it was a Saturday afternoon. I was standing in my bedroom and I was standing in front of my mirror, and I was willing myself to just say the words, you know, out loud, you know, to acknowledge and affirm, you know, that I am gay. And, you know, I finally said it, and it was terrifying. And it was also like such a relief to be able to like, just like, I will always say the power of the spoken word, to be able to speak your truth is so exhilarating and soul feeding and transfixing of who you are as a person. You know, that will forever live in my memory. You know, I just think, wow, you know, like, if I ever had the opportunity to go back and like live my truth a little bit earlier, doesn't mean, like you said, Kerel, doesn't mean that you're going to be devoid of, you know, bullying or, you know, having hardships. But, you know, I think for me, it was the self-denial. And that carried with me even after I started, even when I actually came out, like that idea of like not really accepting who you are and how you are, you know, because we talk about like, you know, that the Black experience is not monolithic and we don't all think the same, we don't all act the same. So like in my head, I had all these fucked up ideas about what being gay meant, what being Black meant, what, you know, being, you know, 20 years old, 18 years old, like I had all these fucked up ideas in my head, you know, and I'm operating from that. And it was just like, that was a byproduct of all those years of self-denial, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, like that's the one thing is like, it's like I look back at those tapes and like you kind of felt sorry. Like, even though like I look back, I loved my college years. I loved like my senior year and things like that. And it was just like, it was just that slice. And like, it was just so palpable to me that I was just like, God, I know exactly why I said that. Why I was acting that way. You know, like it was, at least for me, it was just so noticeable. And I was just like, oh my God. It was like, as much as, because like for the most part, for most of my life, I've believed in myself and things like that. And it was just this like 10% of me, 20% of me, whatever it is, that I just couldn't do. And I just felt sad at parts that I was just like, God, like, because you could see how much my friends cared about me too. That was the thing. And like, I couldn't even see that. I was just so fixed in trying not to be sought out, called out.
Yeah.
That like I could see in those moments that I probably wasn't even fully enjoying my spring break, fully enjoying that moment, because everything I was doing and saying and acting and reacting was solely not to be found out.
Through a lie.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
So sad. But it's just like I can't change it, A. So like I'm not gonna harp on it. B, it allowed me to get to where I'm at now, to be on a podcast where literally every week I'm telling everything about myself.
Shout it out.
You know? But it's just like, man, like you, it's just like what would have been, what could have been if I found, even if it was just one person to be able to be like, I'm gay. I need your help. I need to tell somebody. I don't know what it means right now at this point, you know, but
I would have been a hoe. I would have been a whole asshole. I know it. I know it. They would have had to make a whole. And they would have to make a whole episode of SVU based off of me and my shenanigans.
Right, that is true. Because like the spring break videos, like all my other friends, all my straight friends would be a hoes. It was like, oh, check this. I'm about to go bang this chick. Like they're all saying on the camera, and like I was texting them. I was like, oh man, the stuff we were saying on this tape. I'm glad we didn't find this years ago, and so I'm gonna send them a copy. And I don't know. But it's just like, I agree. I wish at 17, 18 years old at that moment that I was like a hoe for dudes, you know, because like you said, like I had a girlfriend and all this. I didn't want that. I was doing shit that I just did not want to do. And yet, like looking at the video, I'm like, man, there was some like cute boys just like in the background. I'm like, damn, that would have been dope to be able to go on spring break. And while they chasing chicks, I'm chasing after the dudes, you know? So anyway.
And I think about me being 18 and being out and trying to be a hoe for dudes. And I just cringe. Like I don't like, maybe this is TMI, but like, I think about like my early years of coming out and me trying to have gay sex. And it was just the worst experience ever, and it literally just kind of like scared me away. Like I told y'all before, like the first time I tried it, like, you know, I tried the bottom, like I was crying. He had to give me ice cream. Like, you know, it was just my eyebrows felt like they were burned for real.
Ice cream.
Yeah. Lactose intolerant. That's the last thing that you want when you try to buy.
No. We had to stop, and I was crying because it was just it was such a painful experience. And I probably shouldn't, you know, I'm probably started up, you know, a little up. I didn't. Look, he should have blown into the booty. He didn't blow into the booty hole. Okay,
blow into the booty hole.
He tried to blow in the booty hole, and
he tried to plow into the booty hole, bitch. I was like, that's a no for me. Dog.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you both this question. I'm just really curious. Like your first time with a guy did you go all the way, or did you do like, you know, just handy mouthy kind of stuff?
I couldn't get past the tip. It was that bad. Like
so you tried to go all the way.
I tried, but I mean, like, you know,
stick it in.
Stick it in, mate.
But see, like, I'm 18, and I was just like, I don't. Back then, you didn't really have, again, like we talked about, like positive gay, you know, like examples and stuff like that. And so I'm learning all this for the first time, you know, with someone who's a little bit more seasoned than I am. And a bitch could have gave me like, you know, a 101 class beforehand.
Right.
No, he just saw fresh meat, fresh booty hole, and I was just like, okay, I think that's how it goes.
Did he know that you hadn't slept with guys yet? Or bottomed yet? Okay. That's interesting because most times they would at least try to be a little more sensitive to the fact.
But he was also like 9'7", so I should have started like that, you know.
But
I didn't know. I didn't know because
she was like licking her lips like this gonna be delicious.
But here's the thing though, like I'm
booty
just
hole on fire.
I'm just coming out, so like, you know, like his size is close to what I know because, you know, that's around my ballpark, you know. So like in my mind, like
give your business out there, girl. Yes.
It was a normal thing in my mind, you know. So I didn't know that. You should probably just start off, you know, ease up into it a little bit, maybe start with a finger or something. No.
Oh no.
So it was just very unpleasant. But
like my first time with a guy, I topped. So I feel like your first time with a guy bottoming it would be a completely different experience than your first time with a guy topping.
Yeah.
So the first time I topped. So that was like, I mean, I had sex before, so I was like, I figured it might be similar. I don't know. But now that I think about it, it's just like, okay, like if he had, wow. I've never thought about this just now that
back
like
up for
maybe
just 1 second. So when you thought about sex, did you make a conscious decision that like, oh, I'm gonna top this guy?
I
don't know if I even thought one way or the other, honestly, because like I didn't have
about him first because I was sleeping with girls first, and I was like, well, if I'm going to come out as gay, then I should be doing.
This is what they do.
Yes, I should be. Yeah, it should be in it because that's what gay guys have. That's that's how guys have sex. You know, so that's why my brain went that direction.
See, and I think my brain must have went the other direction.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Boo.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking like, and I'm probably like breaking up a little bit. I think my brain must have went the other direction of like, I don't know if it was like
girls, so
right, exactly. It's like I don't know. Guys. It was just a moment, and maybe thank God I topped at the moment because I definitely wouldn't have been prepared to bottom at all. Like,
did you? Was it ever in your mind an idea about reciprocity?
No.
You know, so like we're gonna reciprocate. So what I do to you, you do to me.
No, and I've never even thought about this until just now. That's interesting. No, not at all. Like, and I think because like I think at that point I wasn't really out yet. Like it was like the process of starting to come out that I don't know if I gave a lot of it thought, honestly. Like, because like at the time I was living in Indiana and I'd be going back and forth to Chicago on the weekends or whatever and this and that, like trying to go to like what was Boys Town and things like that. And I don't know. I think I was just there. Like I was open to whatever was going to happen, but I didn't have a plan to make something happen, if that makes sense. Like I was still dealing with my stuff. I was still scared to be in the bar. I didn't know how to hit on a dude.
At that point?
I was probably like 24.
24. Okay. Yeah.
Let me think. Because I moved to like I'm trying to think of like all my age ranges now. I think it was like 24, 25. Yeah, because I'm turning 37. Yeah. So like, and honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I'm turning 37. So it's really not that long ago, you know? Yeah. But it's just like, I didn't have gay friends. Again, like everything I saw might've been from porn. So it wasn't like I had like a gauge of what to do, honestly, quite frankly. It's just like, I was just there. I was hoping someone would flirt with me because I didn't know how to flirt from the get-go. You know, it was just like these weird things of not knowing how to act. Now knowing that it's the same thing if you're straight, gay, bi, in between, you know, it doesn't matter. But at that point, you're just still so dealing with yourself that I didn't have a gauge one way or the other. All I knew is this dude said he wanted to hook up with me. In my mind, it maybe, maybe he said he was a bottom or something. I don't know. I can't recall. Yeah. All I know is like, okay.
That sounds about right.
Literally,
because you think about it, back in the day, we were not as like sexually sophisticated as like, 18, 19, 20-year-olds are today.
True.
No.
Like at all. I remember like the first time that I had sex, it was, with a guy that I had been seeing for, dating. And we dated for like 6 months. And he was older than I was. And yeah, it's just I had never seen an erect penis outside of my own live. I've seen it on TV. I never saw gay porn up until that point. I never saw actual gay porn. I saw regular porn and I saw like penetration and all that stuff, but I never saw gay porn. So, I was 20, I think I was 20, 21. Yeah, I was 21. Was I 21?
I know that's the funny thing. It's just like at the
it was
time
like,
it was
I
so
was like 20 or
monumental, but
21.
now it's like I can't remember.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to think about it. Like, was I 21? Because I came out when I was 22, but I was living in Columbus by that point. So I was already quasi out of college. So I must have been like maybe 19. And then my boyfriend at the time was 30, 35.
Okay, now.
That was.
And I remember he was cool though, because like he was older or whatever, and he was cool, and he was like, well, you're gonna have to breathe. He like kind of coached me through it. And the first attempt was not successful. Like we had to like stop. It was like because I bottomed. That was because that's what I thought you did. And that wasn't always the case. But like the first time it was like, I want to try this because that's what you're supposed to do, and yeah, that was interesting.
That's fun. Like I'm gonna have to almost do a part 2 of this, like, because I've never just sat and stopped and thought what my thought process was at that moment, because I think I was just still so dealing with myself that I was just there. I didn't have a game plan. I didn't have anything except hoping something would happen.
And see, I was a virgin. I hadn't had sex with a girl. I've had opportunity, but I was like, I'm a Christian. Right. Like I use that as my little veil or whatever. So I was literally like, I had no experience.
Wait,
so I was just like,
Gold Star gay?
Yeah.
Oh,
yay, she did
it. Well, no, she didn't.
Well, that's true.
Right. But yeah, I do remember distinctly that like my mind was, I knew that we were going back to his place and we were going to have sex. And I was like really excited about that because I didn't want to be a virgin anymore. And I didn't have a game. I didn't care what we did. I just wanted to do it.
Right.
That was it.
Exactly.
I just wanted to do it. So, and then
we did it or tried to do it. Yeah, right. I know that's true though. Like after that first go round, you're like, oh shit. Right. Mm-hmm. Woo. I'm trying to remember the first time I bottomed. I think by that point, the app like Grindr had just released. And I think I sought that one out, if I recall right. I remember who it was, but I can't remember.
2008, 2007, somewhere around like there.
That. So damn. Yeah. So maybe I was 23-ish then. Like I said, 24, 25. So maybe I was a little younger than I recall. So yeah. So anyway, so that one I remember sticking out. And same kind of thing with you, Jerome, though. He ended up being a little bigger than I planned. And I was like, I'm here. That's what I want.
See, my first was a regular schmegular. So it was like, it burned, but
regular schmegular. Jesus.
So I didn't have that fear. I didn't have that fear of like, oh my God. I was just gonna work. Because you don't know anything about preparation or anything. Like you don't know anything.
No.
back in those days, back in the day. Now kids know everything.
And it's just so weird, almost like what literally 10, 15, 20 years could do in a situation, because like people are like, how did you not know? How did, like, literally the internet wasn't what it was now. The social media wasn't what it is now. Like everything wasn't what it is now. Like it seems so norm now, but it wasn't of these young kids
don't remember having, like, they don't know the struggles of like even trying to hook up and being glued to a laptop or a desktop to even make that happen.
Waiting for somebody to respond.
Manhunt or something like
whatever that knows that Adam for Adam did.
And being just hoping, you know.
I remember there would be times where I'm in the middle of a conversation and then my mom would be like, we gotta go to the supermarket or whatever. And I'm like, like I don't want to leave because I don't want to like miss a message. And it's like it's all like email based. It's not even like instant message. So like you never know, and then until you get back on, and sometimes you would have to refresh your screen in order to see it. Like, okay, well, like did somebody
and then it'd be like, oh, this message was just sent 3 hours ago. It's like, how sweet? When?
Like, I've been sitting here the whole time. I was
right here.
I forgot about that. It was so it's like going back into the Flintstone age, you know.
The struggle for dick.
Like they don't even like. They don't know. It was like a revolution in terms of like instant access of whatever.
And I remember how I found Grindr. I didn't even like. It was my friend that I didn't even know was gay. I'll never forget this. Like, who's listening to this that will know? Hey, Em will know. You met Emily at my wedding too, Dawon.
Yeah.
Emily and Lou. So we have a friend. I won't say his name because I don't want to put his out there. I mean, he's married to a man and everything now, but I remember we went down to Purdue. So Em and Lou are gonna know what I'm talking about. And I remember I wasn't out, but I like it was the Adam for Adam days and shit like that. And I remember he was having some conversation with Lou on the side. And I think I might have been talking to Em. And he's like, yeah, the dude's like 10 feet away. And I was just like, who's 10 feet away? And he's like, this guy on this app. Like, there's this new app called Grindr. And you like, it shows you like, this is why. And that's how I found Grindr and literally downloaded it like that weekend on the low. Like, it was like, oh no, I don't even think I had a phone at that point. No, I don't think I even had a phone at that point that could download it. I had to wait. For a while because I think it was only on iPhone for a while.
Yeah, and I literally remember getting an iPhone so that I
could. and so like he had like one of the first iPhones, so that's what it was. So I couldn't even download it. That's what it was. I didn't have an iPhone until like a couple later.
And then like and those like Adam for Adam, men.com, gay.com, like you know, like those websites, you traveled for dick. You would travel a good 34 miles. Some dick.
I guess
like you were like
it wasn't about feet, it was about miles.
You were in Wisconsin and you got a clear picture. I'll be there in 4 hours.
It's so true.
And now the kids these days are like, wait a minute, a mile away.
It was miles. And so you didn't think nothing of it.
Didn't think anything of it.
That is so messed up.
You go online to MapQuest.
And map it to the show was MapQuest too. You print out the directions.
You had to do both. You absolutely had to do both.
You print out the directions for dick. I can't stand you. I have not thought about this stuff in so long. That is so funny. Oh,
the commitment to dick back then was on a whole other level. That was some loyalty shit.
That sounds like the title to me. Let me write that down. Like, that might be the title. The commitment to dick.
Yeah, because I remember like I lived, and I'm sure you guys did too. I lived for the weekends because that's when you go out to the club, and that's when you can get the dick in person. But like Monday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like just obsessed Obsessed. You be in like in little chat rooms or like sending messages or looking like, oh, I want to see what people in France look like. You know, just like
you keep scrolling them same 4 pages like someone new gonna pop up.
Or you had to be like, choose a state, and then it was like, choose a city.
And there's like 2 people.
Yeah, right. And you're like, I don't want that city. Let me find me another city. What's another?
You gotta think, like, I was in Mishawaka, Indiana. Dawon, no, that's where his boo's from, that area.
Look, I was in Maple Heights, Ohio.
You're right. So that's why I would go to Chicago, just because I'm like, okay, I could go an hour and a half and be in Chicago and get all the boys in the world. Mm-hmm. But even then, still being scared of the situation, because like I just had this stupid fear. Maybe it was valid at the time. I don't know, of just being sought out, seeing someone that knew me, not thinking that they in the same bar and they probably doing the same shit I'm doing.
The same damn thing.
That doesn't cross your mind in the moment. Oh Lord, man, the commitment for dick. Anyway, what time is it?
Girl, it is time to ask your auntie.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have a dream about like
we're gonna have to do tonight. We're gonna have to have a part 2, because now I'm gonna like start recalling some shit that I haven't even thought about in so long.
Oh my gosh. Okay, man. So this one, this is from Anonymous. My boyfriend and I have been in a secret relationship without labels for 3 years already. And it's and that was just And just 6 months ago, we agreed to make it official and come out to some of our friends. Recently, it's all been going well. Recently, he's started to become more open and has started sending me pictures of hot guys. He'd also send me links of gay porn that he enjoys. It's making me insecure, even though I know that he's admiring them and he's not acting on it. So my question for my aunties is, should I be insecure, or is this something that gay couples do, talk about, fantasize about other guys? I've already told him that it kind of makes me insecure, but he told me that he can't shut down his sexual side and he's just being gay. He also explained that it's better that he sends it to me rather than talking about it to somebody else.
Oh, that's a lot to unpack.
So, in a nutshell, should this person feel insecure about his boyfriend sending him pictures and links to gay porn?
I mean, I definitely think there's something there to unpack. I definitely think there's something there to unpack. And it could be that, there's something, maybe there's just something within yourself that the other people have that you don't have, and that may make you uncomfortable, or it simply could be, it's just not your cup of tea. But I think you need to figure that out first before you then ask someone else to change. Because if you figured out whether, if that's something you like or not, then whether or not it's something that you're going to accept. Because I think it becomes a preference thing, because some people in their relationships share photos, and watch porn together and stuff like that, and some don't. It doesn't make it right or wrong, but you need to figure out first if that's something that you can tolerate or not, because I don't think it's fair for you to tell your partner, hey, don't do that, because it's okay if that's something that he's into. You shouldn't shame your partner for being into something that you're not into. You have to have,
and it's okay to leave that situation if it is bothering you as well.
Exactly. And that was going to be my follow-up. Like, if that's something that you just can't get behind, then you need to make that tough decision to then be like, then I can't do this. But to do the ultimatum, I think is kind of fucked up to do, either because then you're asking that person to change who they are for you. And it's like, in the same breath, if you can ask your partner to change for you, you should be willing to change what is within you for them too. So it goes both ways, but I mean, for us, Fizz and I don't share a lot, but I mean, like, if we see someone on Instagram, like, damn, this person's hot, absolutely. We're watching a TV show and I'm like, Daddy can
that
get
motherfucker
it.
can get it.
You know, like that's cool. You know, like, yeah, we'll absolutely do that. That doesn't mean that we don't love each other any less or we don't find each other, you know, hot. But the truth of the fact is, beauty is all about the eye of the beholder, you know, and it can come in many different forms. It doesn't even have to be a physical thing. It could be, you know, just how they carry themselves. You know, a confidence. That's one. I mean, a confident person is really sexy to me, and that could be, doesn't matter how tall, short, big, thin, color, whatever. And I'll still be like,
damn,
that's
he could
swag.
get
Yeah, you know, there's something just about that swag. You're like, damn, yes, I don't care. Your face is butchered, but you can butcher this booty hole. You know, like, you know, I'm just saying, like,
Betty the Butcher.
Okay. You know, so I think it really just depends on the individual, and it's okay whether you're into it or not, but it's not okay to judge someone for whether they are or not. That's where I think you should draw the line.
Yeah. Like I think you nailed it. Like, you need to figure out why it's making you insecure. Do you think it means he's going to cheat on you, this and that, whatever? And then you need to unpack why you think that. Like, because like, and I get that energy, especially if it's a newer relationship. You don't want to feel like he's coveting someone else besides you or more than you. And I get that feeling. I was probably similar to that maybe at the beginning of like Corey and I, because it's just like, okay, I think I found someone that I really see a future with and things like that. I don't want him really saying, oh, look at that hot guy right now. Like, we just been dating 6 months. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Kind of thing. But what I found as I grew was like that had a lot more to do with what I was dealing with than even with Corey, you know? So I think you need to unpack why you feel insecure in that moment. Then if it's just a sake of, you think it's like a respect thing and things like that, you need to communicate that. And if that's your button, if that's your line, then you need to make your mind up and say, that's my line. I need to get out of this because I don't feel like I'm going to be my complete self now. And that's okay. It doesn't mean it's not going to hurt. Doesn't mean you might shed some tears and things like that. But if that's your line, it's okay for that to be your line. But you need to communicate that to him. And if he can't do that, if that's not what he wants, then he might step away, you know, and that's okay for him because he's doing what's working for him. And once you kind of get to that maturity, which it takes some years, it takes some situations and things like that, then you could like start living and start really having some strong relationships because you're communicating what's making you tick, what's not making you tick, what you think is hot, what's not hot, why you think that dude's hot. Maybe we could do a little role play in the room, you know, whatever. And get seriously, or bring him home from the grocery store. I don't know, but whatever. I think you need to have those conversations, and it might ebb and flow over time as well. You know, and that's another thing is like how you felt 8, 9, 10 years ago might be different than how you're feeling today, but you still need to have the respect for your significant other to have these conversations of where you're feeling. So I think that's where you need to kind of start is like, A, unpack why you feel insecure. B, if you're stating this, let me see, did he tell him that he's insecure? I don't think he said
he did say that.
Oh, did he?
He said, but he's like, his partner said, I can't shut down my sexual side. I'm just being gay.
So part of that like seems like a little inconsiderate. It's just like, I mean, hopefully he said, okay, let's sit down and talk about it. If that was his first response, maybe that isn't the right one for you because that seems a little insensitive. But
and also that's not just being gay.
No, it's not just being gay. That's every human being on earth. But I, for me, Corey and I, like, especially at this point, we're coming up to almost damn near 9 years together. I'm well secure with myself and what I bring to a relationship and everything in my body and my being. But I also know there's other very attractive human beings in this world, you know? And it has nothing to do with me. It does not make me insecure. So if he thinks he's hot, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, he is. So is. Look at that booty. Damn. Okay. You know? So, but I think that's after years of knowing to communicate, knowing what we want in our relationship and things like that. So I see both sides of it. I was like, I've been on this side of this question, but now dealing with my own self and my insecurities and why it's making me insecure and unpacking that leads me to the path of saying that has nothing to do with me. Like, there's nothing for me to be insecure about if you're cool with yourself.
Yeah, I tend to agree. It seems to me like this situation is one of those like really young couples, that are just finding, their way through just being an adult and having more complex relationships. But I also blame heterosexuality on this. I do, because I feel like this heteronormality that, see, I'm giving y'all a whole bunch of words today, just FYI.
You sure are.
I'm sprinkling them through.
That's a Dawon word.
But like, I do feel like we have some really just fucked up ideas around what relationships are supposed to look like. Instead of just existing and being present and being wholly oneself in the relationship and find out whether that works. It's like and I've done this myself. We bring all of this extra expectation around what a relationship is supposed to look like and measure success of relationship against our expectation. And a lot of times those expectations are not realistic, and I just feel like there is that dynamic that's happening. There's a little bit of like that, they said they've been, unofficial for 3 years and they just became official, 6 months ago. So there's like that we need to figure this out for ourselves kind of thing going, that dynamic. But then there's also like this, this like, well, what should a relationship be like kind of dynamic? And that's perhaps where some of this insecurity is coming from. I can't tell you whether to feel insecure or not. I mean, that's really going to be on you, boo. But what I would tell you is, like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, like the idea of like sharing, like glances or looks or links to porn or whatever with your partner, that doesn't necessarily have to mean, that you should be less secure in your relationship, unless there are other things that are happening that are leading you to believe that are fortifying the idea that you should be insecure, right? So if it's just these kinds of things, that's something you can work through. But if there are other things that are happening, like, just the fact of, you've never had a relationship before, this is really your first relationship, I'm assuming this is really your first relationship, you're looking for a sense of security with your man or with your boo or with whomever, and you're not getting that, that might be your baggage that you're bringing to the relationship that may not have anything to do with him or what he's doing, so
I was just gonna say something, and I know Kerel knows this song for sure. But it just reminds me of Jasmine Sullivan's "Insecure." Like this whole
it's been in my head this whole conversation
this whole time.
So insecure. And then I was doing the Insecure Challenge run. And the updated one that she did in her new live shit. Woo.
Yeah. This whole situation reminded me of that song.
It is. It is, absolutely.
And it's thinking about that song and thinking about this question is we have to unpack and we got to ask ourselves those questions, because it could be also you self-sabotaging something good, because you are putting these fears into, you're manifesting these fears out of nothing. You're creating a burden for you to carry that doesn't even need to be carried, lifted, or even thought about,
I remember never mind.
That's like twice in like a couple of weeks that she's done that. She's like, oh, hold on.
I just telling my whole like bibliography.
Same here.
That's another one.
I can't be the only one.
I remember there was a guy that I liked for a really long time, and it was wild because we were always ships crossing in the night. I was in a relationship, and then he was interested in me. I was in a relationship. I was interested in him, back, but I was in a relationship. And then when I wasn't in a relationship, he was in another relationship. And then, finally, we were both single, we both connected. And it was like, this was like the summer we were going to make it happen. I remember it like it was it was like, it was iconic. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. And I remember we went out, got stupid drunk on cappuccino martinis. Oh my gosh, got stupid drunk. I mean, just
was it at Marty's?
No, this wasn't in Chicago.
That was before Chicago.
But got stupid drunk, went out like dancing and went to bars and bar hopped and blah, blah, blah. Went back to his place or whatever, had crazy sex and whatnot. And then I remember after, you know, as we were laying in bed, I remember him saying to me, we should do a threesome. And I broke up with him right there. And for me, it was less about the idea of doing a threesome, but like, it was so new what we were doing. And we had been like these ships crossing in the night. Like, I just wanted to be on solid ground. I wanted to know that this was real. And we had already had some conversations earlier about like, you know, how do we, you know, deepen, you know, our connection? Like, you know, are you able to have, you know, really deep conversations and da. So there was a little bit of like, you know, hesitancy on that part, because he came out of a long-term relationship and da. But, you know, I just remember that I was like, we've been having so much fun this entire summer, and, you know, like just starting to build a foundation for something that could be like really, really real, like lifelong real. And then you're going to ask me that and I'm a Leo. So it's like, it only takes one thing to be like, nope, it's a wrap. It was a wrap. It was done.
Because you do want to feel like, especially beginning of a relationship, you want to feel like you're the one that's coveted and that they have your eyes on it. So I get this question for sure. That's what it feels like. You feel like you might not have gotten the attention that you want quite yet from your boyfriend, that he's not only looking at you like, damn, my boyfriend's hot, I want to fuck him. And, you know, so I get that energy. But if you're not having those conversations up front and dealing why you want that, if it's because of some ideal situation or whatever, or some insecurity of not feeling wanted ever in your life, you're going to have to unpack that way before this shit, because that's always going to be there. And if you don't deal with it, like Jarrell said, you're going to sabotage this relationship. You're going to sabotage the next relationship. You're going to sabotage every other relationship because you haven't dealt with your shit yet. So that's the thing. So it's like, we're not minimizing the guy looking at other shit and whatever, but it sounds like he's sending them to you, wants to kind of build that relationship with you and things like that, and confiding in you. Then okay, deal with that, and you just need to unpack the shit and go to therapy, whatever you got to do to get this shit right, because it's going to rear its head again.
Yeah, I can't agree with that more. Yep.
So continue to send your question. That's a good one. Send your question to aya@minorityareport.com or DM us. Send us some new ones. It's a new year, 2021. If you got some new shit popping off, let us know. It doesn't have to be relationship wise either. Like, I think a lot of times we do so many relationship ones because that's what we get. But it could be like, I know we have a couple coming up here in the queue that are just completely different than this, but are conversations we need to have on here. So whatever you find interesting, email us, aya@minorityareport.com.
Yes.
And before I forget too, is Black History Month is the last one week of the month for us recording wise. So we're going to squeeze in another little queer Black History moment. And this one is Phil Wilson. He's an activist and founder and was the longtime president and CEO of Black AIDS Institute before stepping down in 2018. Wilson launched the Black AIDS Institute in 1999 with the goal of ending the epidemic within African American communities by engaging its members and confronting HIV issues from an unapologetically Black viewpoint. He felt that Black communities were being left behind. Phil Wilson's career in activism started after he and his partner were both diagnosed with HIV in the early 1980s. He said, "I've lived with HIV for most of my life. I've never expected to make it to 30. I am of a generation that lost scores of friends and loved ones through this disease, and I was given a death sentence on more than one occasion. Eventually, I came to understand that the only way to save my life and the lives of those I loved was to fight the disease, to fight all the isms, to fight the stigma, to fight the uncaring government, and to fight hold on, to fight an ignorant public, to fight an inadequate healthcare system, and to fight my own fears of inadequacy. Wilson has said that when he dies, he hopes people will remember him for not giving up. His biggest fear is that the Black community will give up fighting against this disease. So shout out to Phil Wilson, man. I almost want to get him on here. That like, because you don't hear a lot of Black gay HIV stories. Like a lot of that generation unfortunately died, or it was so traumatizing that it's hard for them to even really speak on it today, you know, to provide these lessons.
And that's still an issue within our community, a significant issue, like, because, you know, there are so many people who are not on PrEP and not, you know, just not taking necessary precautions. So this is not like, you know, 20 years ago kind of thing. This is like a very relevant and important conversation.
So shout out to Phil Wilson. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him a DM. That's just to kind of hear his story. But before we get out of here, is like I said again, end of Black History Month. We're Black all day, every day, so it ain't the end for us. But figured we haven't done a curiosity in a while, so it might be time to bust out of curiosities, specifically around Black people. And this is from that game. Where is the box here? Black Card Revoked. So I've seen this game for a while. So I was like, you know, that might be cute for us to kind of do a little bit here. So here we go. Curiosity. And the goal is to just give me your answer, and I'll answer as well after you give me yours. So this one says.
So wait. So is the rule that like we give you our answer, you tell us whether our Black Card is revoked? Is that how it works?
You know, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just be the MC. I was just going to give you my answer too, but maybe I'll do that. I'll see whose Black Card is revoked. That might even be better. So yeah, between you and Jarrell.
Okay.
And I'll see whose card is revoked. Here we go. Which R&B songstress would you want to have your back in a fight? A, K. Michelle. B, Rihanna. C, Keisha Cole. Or D, Solange.
Oh.
Ooh, who do I want the right answer to be? Okay, I know who I am.
Who was A again? You said K. Michelle.
Okay. K. Michelle, Rihanna, Keisha Cole, and Solange.
I'm going with Keisha Cole.
I'm going with Solange.
It was those are the two that I had in my mind. I think I'm gonna go with Keisha Cole though. She's from the Bay Area.
Yeah,
she just got that. She just got that energy. Even though Solange beat up Jay in the elevator.
Look, I saw them high kicks. I was like, hey.
In the elevator.
Right. Look, I'm a by any means necessary kind of fighter. So I don't care about the hands. I'm talking about the feet, the keys, the books, you know, the doorknobs.
Solange is a close second because if you're gonna fight someone that's worth a billion, you badass because she's like, I don't fucking care about your money. You fucking with my sister.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh. Best television sitcom of all time. Ooh.
Wait, best
Hold on, and let's keep score too.
Of all time?
Yep. And so let's see here. Who did I pick? I picked Jarrell on that one. We'll keep score. And maybe we'll do 10 and see who wins at the end. And whoever loses, your car is revoked until the next episode.
Oh, shit.
All right. Best television sitcom of all time. A, The Cosby Show. B, Martin. C, Good Times. Or D, The Fresh Prince.
Damn, those are the four that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Woo.
So I'm going with, I have to go with Martin because my cousin's in there. Tisha Martin Campbell is my cousin, so I'm going with Martin. Yep, that is my cousin.
Like first cousin, second cousin.
That's my dad's cousin, so that's not my generation.
So it's your second cousin.
Yeah, my second cousin.
What? They never said this on these episodes.
We might have to get her on this podcast.
Right.
Come on, you work them connections.
I know 107 episodes. We just now finding that out. Okay, so you said Martin. Ooh,
okay.
Juan, what you got? Damn, what's the right answer in my book?
Best sitcom of all time is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yep. What about you?
I don't know what the right answer on it. You can't get your car revoked on this one. None of that's like revoked.
Yeah.
Here's where I stay. I'm leaning towards Fresh Prince, and this is why. Because for the first maybe like season, my parents didn't want us to watch Martin because it was just so like more grown up than like Fresh Prince.
It's black as fuck. That's
exactly.
why I love it.
But then after a while, they're like, here we down here cracking up. Who cares? And so they allow us to watch it with them. So I have fond memories of both. I love the silliness of Martin. Like the silliness and just all the way out there, Martin is everything. But the Fresh Prince, I loved before Martin. So that's the only reason why. I had to justify it somehow. So Fresh Prince.
See,
that's hard.
Or go ahead, Jarrell. Why did you pick?
Outside of it being my cousin, it's like my cousin being on there. I still find it funny as all get out because now as an adult, I can rewatch it. And some of those lines, I'm like, ooh, it makes so much more sense. Like, I get it. So, whereas with Fresh Prince, I watch it and like, although like I feel like the younger me, that's exactly what I needed. But now as an adult, I'm like, it just hits a little bit different, you know? Like, it's just.
I get that. I definitely enjoy Martin way more now than I did.
I still watch it on YouTube, like Martin and Pam going at it, going back and forth.
Jerome in the house. Jerome in the house. Better watch your mouth.
Like, giddy up. We can just ride Pam all the way down. Or Pam was talking and he was like, ooh. Like the middle of the sentence.
They just don't make shows like that. Honestly, they didn't make shows like that then. Like Martin is like its own entity,
its own lane.
You know?
It really is.
All right, here we go.
Dawon, why'd you pick?
Yeah, why'd you pick Fresh Prince?
I feel like it. I feel like it just represents like my personality. Like as much as I love Good Times because I think they would be like a second for me, and then. A third would then be, at any rate, it represented two different lifestyles. Like it's like the hood lifestyle clashing with like the bougie lifestyle, you know, and like just the stories, the real stories that happened, you know, with like, you know, Will crying because his father doesn't want him. And, you know, like the story that they told about racism where, you know, Will and Carlton got pulled over by the cops in this town or whatever. And like, and, you know, original Aunt Viv doing the dance, like, you know, like it just, yeah.
Like what I enjoy about the Fresh Prince, like again, similar to the Cosby Show before it showed Black culture in a different light that a lot of people might not have thought was possible. Like
it was a spectrum.
The wealthy, quote unquote, Black person. And besides the Cosby Show, what other show showed wealth in the Black scenario? You know, so that's why then I was just like, oh, that's dope because we weren't wealthy, but like we weren't in the hood. And so for me, I was just like, okay, I could relate to this because I see some people similar to this, and I don't see this when I'm at my all-white school. They don't know this exists, you know? And so that's where I kind of get the connection. But then just the flat out just humor to me of Martin and just seeing Black people just improv so well and just everything was just it's just so excellent to see.
It was so Detroit too. It
was so Detroit. And maybe that's why I like to do.
So yeah, because that's just a whole like vibe.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. In community, we'll put these questions up for you through the week.
That was a tough one.
What's most likely to be, this is so hood, this is funny. What's most likely to be found in a Purple Crown Royal bag? A. Hold on, that's one that is A, cigarettes. B, weed. C, candy. D, loose change.
Loose change.
I was gonna say candy.
I got a bag. I would get up and go get it right now if I didn't have any if I had pants on. But yeah, I got my Crown Royal.
You know, and by the way, we did this before the episode started. We Dawon and I had like a little
community. They're taking a shot because there were two things that they were going to see whether or not Auntie Henny had on a hat and whether Auntie Henny had on pants or not. And sure enough, at the beginning of the episode, before we even started recording, my webcam fell down and it fell right into my crotch. So all they saw was dick. And I was like, oh.
And we're like, we just got a 2-for-1.
all within like 2 minutes too. Yep. Like I had just logged on to Zoom.
But I think the winner of that is Loose Change.
Yeah.
Loose Change. So I'll give that to Jarrell.
Yep.
Hold on.
Well, Dawon picked the 2.
No, he said Candy.
No, I said Candy.
Oh, you said Candy?
I said Candy. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just like Candy. All right. What's a good reason for not answering your phone? It's a bill collector. It's your ex with some BS. The phone is cut off, or is somebody asking for money?
Wait, how you going?
Oh my God.
You ain't got no choice but not to answer the phone if it's cut off.
It's a good ass reason.
And D said was because you owe somebody some money.
Is somebody asking for money?
Look.
So
Honestly,
A, it's a bill collector. B, it's your ex with some BS. C, the phone is cut off. Or D, is somebody asking for money?
For me, honestly, right now, it is A. Let me tell you, if them bitches call me one more time talking about your car insurance is about to expire. On what car, bitch? I don't got no, how am I have car insurance with no car? How you calling me about this? Oh, your warranty is about to expire. What the?
What you got, Dawon?
This is a tough one because like I don't have this situation at all. So
right.
And I don't answer phone calls from people I don't know. So if
That
you're not
part.
in my phone, you are not
Me either.
going to voicemail. So I would say bill collectors, I guess.
So we'll both give you that one because that's what I was thinking too. All right, so Jarrell, you're up 3-2. When is a good time? God, these questions are funny. When is a good time to start running?
I need this game.
I know this.
On
I
my
know
life. You need to.
Okay.
You need. I need this URL to order this game because on my life, the next barbecue.
Black Carver, and this ain't. And we're not getting sponsored. We're not getting sponsored by this or nothing.
Swear.
So A, you hear gunshots. B, somebody else start running. C, you getting on your mama's nerves. D, daddy take off his belt.
Two. B.
I have
B
to go
for
with
me.
B.
Somebody else starts running.
I gotta go too. Because you know damn well if you run from your daddy taking out the belt, it's just gonna make it worse.
Gonna happen. Yeah, that's not gonna
It's just
happen.
gonna make it worse.
Yeah.
So you just stand there, look, and you make sure you go. You make sure you have on your 3 pairs of pants and your 2 pairs of drawers beforehand, and hope he don't ask you take them pants down.
I think that's like. I think it's just black code. Like
it is.
If anything pops off, doesn't even matter what it is. You run. You don't stick around to find that out. You don't like. Unlike our less melanated individuals.
What's going on?
Well, what is that? What is that over there? What? Well, did you hear that? Let's go out and check that. No.
This how it starts too.
You gotta go.
Like you see one person take up, you go, and you go.
Or you got those high knees. You're like, wait. Is it? Are we good?
Right. Exactly. That's true. So it's 4-3. You right on that one.
Oh, I need this game so bad.
All right, here we go. What kind of fish is best to fry for a fish sandwich? Ooh, for a fish sandwich. That's specific. Okay.
I'm allergic. I'm gonna get this one wrong.
Whiting. Oh, you're allergic to fish?
Yeah. Because
we are just finding all kinds of shit.
No, we knew.
Yeah. I think I knew he like didn't eat it. I didn't know you was allergic to it. Damn.
I have a seafood allergy.
Oh fuck, that sucks. A, whiting. B, tilapia. C, perch. D, catfish.
I'm going with D. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. What you got?
I'm gonna say, I have to say, I swear this was my choice because like when you asked the question in my head, I said catfish. Only because it's not the best, but damn it, it's the one.
It's fried up, right?
It's so damn good.
I used to be mad because I remember my mom used to get mad because she would fry the catfish for the siblings. Like every time they had fish, they had catfish. but because my seafood allergy, she would have to fry the chicken in a completely different thing.
Dish,
yeah. But everyone in my family eat catfish. That's why
it's good. Here's the only thing that I'm torn on this specific question: a fish sandwich. I don't know if I ever put catfish on a fish sandwich. I might have put it in like a little roll though. Now I'm thinking.
I have.
I mean, catfish is delicious, so it's gonna be catfish.
Look, catfish between two white pieces of white bread.
The Wonder Bread
and some ketchup.
And some ketchup. That's what I see.
And it gets stuck in the roof of your mouth.
I didn't even taste it, but I see I just see my family just.
Yes.
Have you? This is a sidebar. Have you ever had like fried chicken and spaghetti?
Yes.
That was never our thing.
Or with some cornbread too.
Ooh. Like we had it, and so like I forget. It might have been early on in our relationship. And Corey was talking about like spaghetti. I was like, oh, we should have some fried chicken with it. And he's like, fried chicken with spaghetti. I was like, and like I was shook. I was like, how you never like what? Like how?
Yeah.
And he had never heard it. And I was like, that's a cultural difference.
It definitely is.
Fizz loved it. Fizz had never done the same thing. He was like, there's already meat in the spaghetti. And I'm like, bitch, but you just don't know. That crunch and the fried chicken.
Different.
What's it?
Different.
It slaps on a whole other level.
So do. Okay. Which food do you ask a certain family member to make because nobody else can make it right?
Already know.
Mac and cheese, potato salad, deviled eggs, or cornbread. All of them are hard questions.
I have to go with the mac and cheese because I can do without the deviled eggs. I can do without potato salad. The dressing,
and it was just cornbread, so it didn't even get to the dressing.
Oh, it's cornbread.
So just cornbread, yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's cornbread. Oh, yeah.
Double eggs, mac and cheese,
potato
cornbread,
salad.
and potato salad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the mac and cheese to me. Yeah, and
I think I'm going with potato salad.
Ooh, that's a close one.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I want to hear your.
The only reason I say that is because my whole family makes the same recipe when it comes to mac and cheese.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Hey, look, if you not in our family, I'm probably not going to be eating your mac and cheese.
Right.
I think I got to go with mac and cheese because I don't really care for potato salad, so that's the only reason why. That's the only reason.
Salad.
But I know everybody talk about potato salad. So okay, let's see here, Jarrell.
So
you're up 6-4. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
I knew I was dissenting with that one, but I had to stick to my guns.
It was a second one because potato salad is a very polarizing thing.
Mm-hmm.
If Mama sent you to the store, God, these questions. If Mama sent you to the store with $5, what were you supposed to bring back?
Change. I'm sorry. Look, that's how you know how black the PTSD came in. Look, let me tell you. Go ahead, baby. Give me 3 honey buns, give me a zebra cake, and give me my Newports. And I better come back with 47 cents. So it better be with 4 dimes, 5 nickels, and 2 pennies.
I am so mad at you right now, Jarrell, because listen to these answers. You hit every 4 ones on here. A cold pop, a lottery ticket. Oh, you did say lottery ticket. A lottery ticket, some cigarettes, and her change.
Oh my God.
I can't stand this game. The answer's her change, so I don't care.
No matter what you ask for, you bring that change back. Unless they say you can keep it.
That part.
And that's when you knew you did something right. You're like, oh, yes, okay, I came back with everything.
That's when you get like the now laters. You get the gum. You get
the lemon heads. The lemon heads.
You get a Snickers bar and a bag of potato chips. And if you have leftover, you would get a pop.
Too. Ooh,
see,
my mom loved a Snickers bar.
It was the pork skins for me. If I had enough of some pork skins, with some hot sauce.
Okay, what's the best movie featuring a Wayans brother? Don't Be a Menace, Major Pain, Mo Money, or Scary Movie? Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Wait a minute. Which Scary
White Chicks
movie,
ain't
though?
On there either.
Right, well, White Chicks, that was my choice right there.
Yeah.
Which Scary movie?
I'm gonna say the first one because it doesn't say 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Or don't they have a fourth one? They're not in the fourth one.
Number 2 would have been like if it was Scary Movie 2.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's
so Don't Be a Menace, Major Pain, Mo Money.
Hold on, wait.
It's Scary Movie.
I gotta do that. I gotta do that part though. This shirt make me look gay though.
Don't Be a Menace in South Central about drinking your juice in the hood.
That's my movie.
That's it.
That's my.
That's
look,
it.
That's mine too.
That's the best one.
When he lit that the mac and cheese, when she lit the mac and cheese on him, he said, "That's too hot."
We don't give the Wayans family enough credit, low key.
Oh,
we don't give that whole all 20 billion of them. It's like there's another generation out that out here doing shit. We need to uplift the Wayans family because they were the only ones out here for a while, really. Multiple movies and TV shows and shit. Yeah. So
and Marlon Wayans, he was just in GQ magazine. He's that brother is.
He had to glow up because when he was first starting out,
it wasn't it.
Give me a high five.
Okay, we're at 8-6. So 2 more. Oh, let me make it a good one though. Hold on. I already saved one for last. So this will be 9. We'll play this game again. So okay, don't matter. All right, best female R&B group of the 90s.
Okay.
Woo. SWV. We got Escape. We have En Vogue. And we have TLC. Let me think for what's my answer gonna be. Let me think.
I know what my answer is. I know my answer. I'm going with En Vogue.
That's what I was going with too, but I still have to give it to TLC. Just what's it gonna be? Hey, but that's the song though. That's the song. Of all the groups, I love that song the most out of all the groups. And friends, hold me tight and don't let go. Don't let go. Hey, that song. But here's that song alone, I was gonna pick them, but I have to go with TLC.
TLC, you got En Vogue.
I gotta go with TLC.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's gonna get a point this round because I was gonna actually go for SWV. And like
I can understand that. I get that.
There's no right answer for this one because it just depends on the day. Tonight,
that's how you're feeling.
Gut said SWV.
Yeah.
So okay, so nobody on that.
What about your friend? I think about like don't go chasing waterfalls or a red light special. Bitch, feeling grown at 10 years old, bitch. Like
that's how I knew I was gay. I said
dancing
that
around in your dancing around in your pajamas.
Your silk, yes, hey, I know.
Cause you don't know what I know and know what. Hey, that was a shit.
No attention. I know. Hey. See, now you about to change the TLC.
I think of the catalog, and the catalog just gives me life on different levels. But Don't Let Go, any day of the week.
All these songs are about to be on our Spotify playlist, by the way. If you haven't followed the Spotify playlist.
Weak in my knees that I cannot speak.
Oh, come on, get the words right though, girl.
No, I'm just saying.
Alexa. Yes. That's how we know it was an SWV for him.
No.
But the Spotify playlist is Minority Report breaks out into song. Look it up on Spotify. Every song we break out into randomly on this podcast is on that playlist. All right, so I got to get another one in here. So what's the nickname your mother gives your significant other?
Not friend.
I'm trying to keep a straight face. Your little boyfriend, your little friend, that fast tail heifer, or what's her name?
Your little friend. It has to be your little friend.
Yeah, little friend.
Yeah. Where your little friend at?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, all right. We're at 9-7.
I mean, I can't come back, but I still want to play. So
you might.
I mean, this can't be worth 3 points, is it?
No, but like, say if you pick one different than his, and I think yours is a better answer.
Oh, so we're doing the first to 10.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were doing just 10.
10. That's
10 questions.
Got you.
Okay. So it's 9-7.
Okay.
Who is your favorite Jackson? Janet, Jermaine, Michael, or Freddie? They threw Freddie. They threw Freddie in there.
They threw Freddie in there.
You are my lady. Is that Freddie? That's Freddie, right?
I'm gonna say Michael.
And I have to go with Janet.
Y'all gonna make me decide?
I have to go with Janet, and the reason why I go with Janet specifically because Michael already had his career, and to make her own name for herself when you have your older brother as the king of pop, like that's such an uphill battle.
I get that, but she always gonna be number 2.
It's true. It's Michael
because that's the pedestal. That's the
mountaintop.
That's honestly, out of all artists that are out there, all of them, including the fucking Beatles for white people. Like that is the moniker of success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I would agree with
like
that.
Everybody saying Michael.
I didn't like light skin Michael. But also,
but you didn't like.
Do
you remember the time?
As a kid, yes. But the songs that still slap for me today,
when we first met,
his first stuff is.
Oh,
I wanna rock.
He said
that took me out.
That's when you knew you felt that shit that day in the studio when you did that. Damn, and with the one curl, bitch.
Oh my God, that video alone, I'll probably watch that video once a quarter.
I've
Eddie
learned
Murphy,
that music video when I was young. Girl, Magic Johnson,
right.
Fatima did the choreography.
Presenting Pyro.
Seriously, Fatima's the one that went on to get Aaliyah fame. She did all Aaliyah's choreography, and she's still doing everything now.
The girl with the braids.
Fatima, because she was from In Living Color too.
She was in Living Color. Yeah,
she was a fly girl with the box braid, the poetic justice braid. Girl. Anyway, all right. So it's 9-8. See, Tommy from Martin. What was his real job? More than likely, stripper, youth counselor, drug dealer, collecting unemployment.
Unemployment.
It has to be unemployment.
Yeah, I was looking at
He was always asking for cash. He was always broke.
He was. Hey, can I?
So you know what?
He was always he always had a fly
he was dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely
dripped.
But yeah, he was getting that unemployment, Playboy. He was getting that unemployment.
Yeah.
Well, Jarrell, you won. So Dawon, for the next week, your black card's been revoked, but it was close. It was 10-9. 10-9. But community, we'll put some of these questions up this week to see what your answers are.
Yeah. I'm ordering this game.
And they have updated cards.
And next time I'll be the host, and then you two. Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll go at it.
Absolutely.
I love that. That was great.
Yeah, I saw this online a while ago and been wanting to get it and got it at the store the other day.
Just a point of order. I'm just gonna say that I answered based on my answers, not based on what you were gonna because there were certain things I was like,
right?
I just,
I did the same. Yeah,
that was a good one. That was a good find. Thank you, Boo, for finding that.
Yeah.
But community, stay strong. Happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
And watch
to you.
Ooh.
Happy birthday.
Ooh.
To you.
Ooh. I mean, you got to finish it now. You're halfway there.
Happy birthday, dear Auntie Kerel. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, Boo. Anyway, wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass, and we'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Bye, y'all.